Tonight, we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country.
So tonight, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is expected to force a vote on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Green New Deal, a resolution that entails massive government involvement in order to fix the climate crisis, with a price tag that is estimated in the trillions. And now some Republicans are criticizing the deal by comparing it to the Emperor Has No Clothes Fry Festival scam. That is one of the hottest documentaries on TV right now. Here's Republican Congressman Mark Walker's Green Deal version.
It gives people that type of energy, that type of power.
We'll just print more money. Joining me now is Andy Pazdur, former CEO of CKE Restaurants and the author of The Capitalist Comeback, The Trump Boom, and the Left's Plot to Stop It. Andy, good to have you back on the show. Thank you for being here. What do you make of this? Thank you. What do you make of this new Green Deal?
Well, it's ridiculous. I think in her enthusiasm to get these socialist policies that she's so supportive of out there, Olivia Ocasio-Cortez has actually made the mistake of telling the American people exactly what the progressive socialists want to do. They want to take over everything. They want the government to control virtually everything. You know, they're always out there saying, you know, we're not Venezuela, we're not North Korea, we're not Cuba, we're not the Soviet Union, we're this gentler kind of socialism. Well, they're not. I mean, this shows, number one, that they want to take over everything they can. They want to take our freedoms, our liberties, and our wallet. The other thing it shows is that they are going to use climate change. Whether you think it's important or you don't is irrelevant. The fact of the matter is they want to use climate change as a bludgeon to transform America from a free market capitalist democracy into a socialist totalitarian state. And I think people will see it. I think they are seeing it. It's a ridiculous plan, but it really shows what they're trying to do.
You wrote a piece on Fox News on the website talking about growing up in America and a lesson that you learned about capitalism when your dad took you to drop off a new Ford at his customer's estate. And I want to put up the new polling that we have on capitalism versus socialism so people can take a look at that. But, you know, what struck you when you took that ride up that very long driveway on a very big estate to drop off a Ford with your dad?
Well, you know, I was really stunned by the wealth. I grew up in a little ranch house. My dad was a Ford car salesman, as you note. We didn't have much, and we were working class, but we never really thought about being working class. And I didn't anyway. It was a life I knew until we drove to this very rich individual's house. And I asked my father as we were leaving what this man did. His name was George Humphrey. And I said, what did Mr. Humphrey do that he can live like this? And my dad said, well, he's a lawyer and he runs a business. And I can remember it as if it were yesterday thinking, I could be a lawyer. Well, you know, I thought I could do it. Now, it's important that I thought maybe I could do this, but I think it's more important what I didn't think. I didn't think that SOB's stealing from us or he's in the 1%, we're in some other percent. I thought maybe I could do this. Never been a country in the history of the world where a working class kid like me could have aspired to that level of success with any chance of achieving it.
And you did. Became a lawyer and ran a very large company. And, you know, just getting back to this whole idea of the changes that some of the candidates for 2020 are pushing, one of them would have had a big impact on the food industry, on the business that you did so well in as the CEO of many fast food restaurants in this country. Here's Cory Booker on the food industry. He said the tragic reality is that this planet simply can't sustain billions of people consuming industrially produced animal agriculture because of environmental impact. To change something, you've got to build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. Your thoughts?
Well, number one, if the people of the United States want to eat food that doesn't involve cattle, which is really what he's talking about, is cattle produce methane when they have gas. And they're trying to take an entire industry and have the government basically wipe it out, you know, in addition to the airline industry and whatever other industries they think the government can take over. With respect to the food industry, if people want to eat food that doesn't have anything to do with cattle, that's what we'll sell them. I mean, the restaurant industry isn't out there trying to tell people what to eat. We're not the food police. We feed people, we provide people with the food they want to eat. So what Mr. Cory Booker should be trying to do is going to American consumers and saying, look, you should want other products. There's now actually a new product out there that's a meatless burger that I'm told is very good. In fact, the company that I used to run is actually selling it in California, and I've told it's great. So if that's what people want, we'll be happy to sell it.
But you want that to drive it. What people want, what the customer wants, will inevitably drive the market to provide what they can sell, right?
Yeah, we don't need the government telling people what to eat, telling people where to go, telling people what they can do, you know, telling people who work that they have to support people who don't want to work. I mean, this Green Deal is so absurd, and the fact that Democratic presidential candidates have gotten behind it is, I think Kimberly Strassel of the Wall Street Journal said this best. This Green Deal and Olivia Ocasio-Cortez are like the Republican secret weapon for 2020. We just have to sit back and watch it happen. It's interesting what they're trying to do.
Andy Puzder, thank you very much, sir. Good to see you tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Coming up next year on the